Evaluate limits using table value. We have the limit of x squared minus 3 as x approaches to 2. When you are thinking about limits, studying limit, the keyword that you are thinking is approach. All right, as x approaches to 2. X approaches to 2 means x is getting closer and closer to 2. Another way to write limits is using symbol. Take a look at the next line. We have as x approaches to 2, so we have arrow, so the arrow means approach. As x approaches to 2, the question is, what is y approaches to? So as x approaches to 2, y approaches to what value? So x squared minus 3 is the parabola. The minus 3 means you shift the vertex from 0, 0 to 0, negative 3, which is 3 units down. So we have the parabola right over there. And then you might say, okay, this is easy as x approaches to 2, right? So, all right, when x is equals to 2, so we have 2 squared, which is 4. 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. So overall, the limit is equals to 1. Is this right? The answer is absolutely right. But the limit is more than that. So what do I mean by x approaches to 2? So in this case, I will be looking at the left limit and the right limit. So we are going to test the left limit. As x approaches to 2 from the left, do you see that there is a minus in the corner? The minus means left. And then what about right? As x approaches to 2 from the right, so we have the plus. Plus means right hand side. So left limit, right limit. The best way to picture this is you draw a number line, you put 2 right in the middle, and then you are going to pick some numbers on the left side, and then you will pick some number on the right hand side. So let's start with the left side first. So what do I mean by left side? You will be picking numbers that is less than 2 or slightly less than 2. So I already set up a table for you. So the x value that we will be testing is the first one is 0, and then 1, 1.5, 1.7, 1.9, 1.95. So overall, the idea is we are getting closer and closer to 2 from the left hand side. Okay, so as when x is equals to 0, 0 squared minus 3, that is equals to negative 3. So x equals to 1, we have 1 squared minus 3, right? So that is equals to negative 2, and then we keep on moving. So this one, you can use your calculator to do it. I already did the math on my notes. So when x is equals to 1.5, we have 1.5 squared minus 3. That is equals to negative 0.75. And then when x is equals to 1.7, I have negative 0.11. So at this point, you can pause the video and then do all the math by yourself. If you know how to do it, don't bother to waste any time on that. Just watch mine. 1.9 squared minus 3, so we have 0.61, and then the next one is 0.8025, 1.99, we have 0.9601, and then 1.999, we have 0.996, and then 001, and then 2 more, 0.9996, and then the last one is 0.99996. Okay, so this one, as you take a look at the pattern, we are getting closer and closer to 2, right? So what about x approaches to 2? I mean, we are getting closer and closer to 1. I just said to you, 0.9996. We are getting closer and closer to 1. Okay, 1, not 2. Okay, the right limit. As x approaches to 2 from the right, I started at 4, and then eventually I'm getting closer and closer to 2 from the right hand side. Okay, so let's match the color. So 4, this is 4 squared minus 3, so that is equals to 13. And then 3, so we have a 3 squared minus 3, that is a 9 minus 3 equals to 6, and then we have a 2.6 squared minus 3, that is equals to 3.76. Okay, 2.2, that gives you 1.84, 2.04, that gives you 1.1616, and then 2.01, that gives you 1.0401. Let's move this up a little bit. And then 2.001, that gives me 1.004001. And then 2.30, right? So this is a 1.0004. And then we have 1.40. And then the last one is 50. All right, so now I want you to tell me as x approaches to 2, what happened to the y value as x approaches to 2. So this is x approaches to 2 from the left. So that one, y is getting closer and closer to 1, right? On the other side, as x approaches to 2 from the right, and then y is what? Approaches to 1. So the left limit gives me 1, the right limit gives me 1, and then I'm going to draw a big conclusion. The conclusion is we have limit as x approaches to 2 from the left. The function gives me a 1, and then we have limit as x approaches to 2 from the right. The function gives me a 1. Okay, so the left hand side gives me a 1, the left limit gives me a 1, the right limit gives me a 1. So that means they are equal, right? They are both equals to 1. So overall, I can say that limit as x approaches to 2, and then f of x, that is just equals to 1. Okay, so that is the answer to the question at the very beginning. So what is that equals to? The answer is the limit is equals to 1. Now, you might ask me, hey, what if the left limit does not equal to the right limit? So here, so if, just a big what if, so let's change color. So if you have limit as x approaches to, just choose a number like a from the left hand side of f of x, what if that is not equal to the right hand side? Limit as x approaches to a from the right hand side, and then what if they are not equal? Then you can say this. So since they are not equal, then the limit as x approaches to a of f of x does not exist. So does not exist. And then the textbook just take the D, N, and the E. They will just say does not exist. D, N, E. All right. So let me give you an example regarding this. So the example that I would like to do is I would like to have f of x piecewise function. Let's do a x minus 1 and then a x squared plus 1 and then x squared minus 1. The subdomain is x less than 0, and the other one is x greater than or equal to 0. So this one, what happened? Let's draw a graph. Let's draw a graph. This is my x-axis, and then we have y-axis, and then x less than 0. So that is a line going downhill, right? I mean a line going uphill, x minus 1. So we have we have a y-intercept at 0, -1. So that is like right over here. The line is going uphill. The slope is past 1. The line is going uphill. And then x squared plus 1, that is a parabola. And then the vertex is at 1, right? So this is -1. And then this is at 1. And then we have this. Okay. Now, this one, the left limit as x approaches to 0 from the left. Which piece should I choose? Which function? The x minus 1 or the parabola? The answer is the x minus 1, because when x is less than 0, this one is the left hand side of 0. This is the right hand side of 0. So when x approaches to 0 from the left, and then this is the left hand side, so we will be picking the x minus 1, and then you plug in the 0. 0 minus 1 gives you a -1. The right hand side, limit as x approaches to 0 from the right, then we will be picking the parabola, because this is the right hand side. Your left hand and your right hand. Your right hand is right here, right? Your left hand is right over there. So we will be picking the parabola, x squared plus 1. So 0 plus 1, that is equals to 1. And then this, they are not equal, right? So since they are not equal, then what do we say? We say the limit as x approaches to 0 of the entire piecewise function does not exist. D, N, E. Does not exist. All right, so that is the end of this video. I will see you all in the next one.